Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Lancair Company has new owner. Airlines curtail Israeli operations. Band of Brothers The Pacific follow-up series imminent. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Lancair Company has new owner. JetEXE Aviation has acquired storied kit aircraft concern Lancair, henceforth Lancair Aerospace. JetEXE Aviation founder and CEO Captain Augustine Joseph, a retired Indian Air Force wing commander with over 40 years of military and commercial aviation experience, stated, quote, "As we embark on this exciting journey of growth and expansion, our compass points steadfastly toward the future. With an unwavering commitment to delivering exceptional customer service, technical support, and advanced aircraft models for our customers, we look forward to navigating the skies of innovation and shaping the future of aviation for generations to come," end quote. JetEXE Aviation is a global aviation industry business conglomerate comprising an FAA Part 145 certified repair station offering aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul services, flight training under Part 141, aerospace research and development, aircraft fleet management, and aircraft sales. Renowned for sleek and innovative airframe designs rendered in highly advanced composites, Lancair aircraft have garnered multiple awards over the company's 4+ decades in business, to include multiple victories at the world-famous Reno Air Races. Lancair, since its 1981 founding, created a global community of Lancair aircraft owners that comprises thousands of members who have logged in the aggregate hundreds of thousands of flight hours in 14 Lancair models and variants thereof. Coming up after the break, crewed flight testing of Joby eVTOL underway.
I think it's a very important thing to share the joy and love of flying. Our customers fly to remote places. They use our products to go places that are difficult to get to. Hertz has been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support, as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demands. And it is that shared experience and the joy of flying that brings us all back and charges all of our batteries up.
Seaglider Aircraft offers a lineup of the most powerful, durable, and efficient light sport aircraft in the industry. From trainers to roomy cockpits for long hauls, Seaglider has an aircraft for you. And the best part? They're in your budget. Seaglider's base prices are set low to give you room to customize your aircraft to your needs, desires, and wallet, allowing you to put your money where it matters to you most. Visit flyseaglider.com today to learn about our aircraft, customization options, and chat with the team.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Crewed flight testing of Joby eVTOL underway. Joby Aviation has commenced crewed flight testing of its eVTOL prototype. To date, 4 members of Joby's flight test team have piloted the company's pre-production aircraft, collectively completing a series of initial tests which comprised in part thrust-borne hovers and forward transitions to semi-thrust-borne flight. The testing was undertaken at the Joby's pilot production facility in Marina, California, and complemented ongoing flight testing of the platform currently being conducted at Edwards Air Force Base. Helicopter Gimbal and Precision Services host training event. September 2023 saw flight instructors and aircraft owners from across the U.S. travel to Oregon for purpose of participating in Helicopters Gimbal factory instructor training. The event was jointly hosted by Gimbal and Precision Support Services, LLC, the McMinnville, Oregon-based U.S. distributor and service center for Helicopters Gimbal Cabri G2, a 2-seat light helicopter produced by the French rotorcraft Mark. The training event complemented the release of Gimbal's Flight Instructor Guide. FCC issues history's first space debris fine. In September 2023, the FAA proposed a new set of regulations by which to mitigate the occurrence and proliferation of so-called space junk left in the wakes of commercial space launches undertaken by private concerns. Comes now October 2023, and another U.S. governmental agency, the Federal Communications Commission, has levied the first-ever fine for space debris. The $150,000 penalty was assessed against satellite television provider Dish Network, reportedly over a failed deorbit. JAL and Regent craft to study Seaglider operations in Japan. Japan Airlines and Regent Craft have entered into a comprehensive partnership under which the two companies will pioneer Seaglider operations in Japan. The all-electric Seaglider currently being developed by Regent is a wing and ground effect craft which functions after the fashion of the Chronoplan ground effect vehicles developed by the Soviet Union. Regent Seaglider is a V-hull, high-wing flying boat fitted with forward and aft ventral hydrofoils. The craft's empennage is of the T-tail variety, and its wings incorporate dihedral and anhedral sections featuring radically downturned distal termini fitted with pontoons. Well, that's it for today's Trip Around the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Airlines curtail Israeli operations. The Israeli declaration of war against the Islamic terrorist group Hamas has precipitated worsening violence, abductions, and intensifying land and air strikes in Gaza and the West Bank. At least 1,200 lives were lost in the first 24 hours of fighting, and upwards of 150 Israelis and allegedly some Americans are reportedly being held hostage by Hamas operatives. Notwithstanding escalating hostilities, Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion International Airport remains open at the time of this writing. A number of global air carriers, however, have suspended flights into Israel. All told, more than half of TLV's typical flight volume remains scheduled. In statements, U.S. airlines set forth they are monitoring the Israeli-Hamas conflict and will conduct flight operations in accordance with prevailing risks arising therefrom. The Israeli government issued a cautionary statement to airlines transitioning Israeli airspace, a statement underscored by the FAA, which subsequently issued a notum referring to the war somewhat obviously as a, quote, potentially hazardous situation, end quote. The notum went on to assert, quote, operators are advised to exercise extreme caution, end quote. Coming up after these messages, Band of Brothers, the Pacific follow-up series imminent.
Throughout the globe, Piper Aircraft has hand-selected the very best in company representation, service, and support. From first inquiry to acquisition to product support, Piper Aircraft ownership is seamless and worry-free. Piper Aircraft authorized dealers, factory trained, factory connected.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Welcome back. Band of Brothers, the Pacific follow-up series imminent. Band of Brothers is a 2001 American war drama miniseries based on historian Stephen E. Ambrose's 1992 nonfiction book of the same title. The series was created by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, who served also as executive producers. Band of Brothers, which debuted on HBO in September 2001, dramatizes the history of Easy Company's 2nd Battalion, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the U.S. Army's famed 101st Airborne Division. The series follows a group of paratroopers from jump training in the U.S. through major actions in the Second World War's European theater, culminating in Japan's unconditional surrender and the cessation of hostilities between the Allied and Axis powers. Band of Brothers' critical and commercial success compelled Spielberg and Hanks to create The Pacific, a 2010 Band of Brothers companion piece that chronicles the United States Marine Corps' actions in the Second World War's Pacific Theater. Comes now 2023, and news of the upcoming release of Spielberg and Hanks' much-anticipated Masters of the Air, a 9-episode follow-up series to Band of Brothers and the Pacific, the first 2 episodes of which are to premiere on Apple TV Plus on Friday, January 26, 2024. Thereafter, episodes will air every Friday through March 15th. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.